Hey, we're keeping it safer with Schaeffer. John Schaeffer.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, we're going to talk about something that I know it's out there, but you're getting a little more specific and,
Right.
and some advice. And that's about scams when it comes to insurance agents.
Right. So home and auto insurance scams. One of the biggest things, and I'll tell a story real quick.
Yeah.
So this happened years ago when there was less computers, but there was an agent one time that would write people's policies and take their cash, and he'd put it in a little account, and if they had a claim, he would pay it out. Well, how he got caught was there was a big claim that came up,
Yep.
and the people were like, oh, I've got insurance. Well, he was making fake IDs on the insurance cards and fake policies, and just collecting the money, just shuffling the money around. And so he finally got busted. But that, one thing that we're going to talk about today is just making sure that you have, we're talking about some documentation, some other things, and also online quotes. There's so many online insurance companies right now. It's a big thing. Some companies went out of the state of Missouri this year because they paid out too many claims, so they left. And there's always these online ones. So what's real, what's not real, what are you getting? So fake websites, you see that a lot, like offering low price insurance. Like how many times you get an email, I can insure your house for $600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's not happening at all right now this time of year. The age we live in with the increases that we've got. So
Yeah.
on your online quote scams, so offering unrealistically low on the quotes, to basically get you in there on the prices and say, we're going to cover this and this home and we're going to do this for you. And then once the payment's made, they just disappear, these insurance companies. So one thing we're going to talk
Well, a lot of them aren't brick and mortar. You can't go in and say, hey, Bob, I need to talk to you about whatever you're insuring.
Right. So one thing I always recommend too is verify the agent or company. Here at the Resource Center, you can come by the office here. You can come by the one in Kimberlin City. I'm on Facebook. We've got reviews on Yelp. We've got reviews on Google.
Yeah.
Contact the insurance company directly and make sure that it's a real company.
Yes, of course.
You're not talking to some guy overseas or somewhere.
Well, that's part of the work that you do as well.
Right.
You know the companies you're dealing with.
Right. So, and then, use established platforms, obtain those quotes, get the documentation, on the policies, make sure that that documentation, it has your house listed, the address, what your premiums are, and it is legit.
Take the time to read it because many people don't read their entire policy. They just go, yeah, that's my name. Oh, that's that number. Okay.
Right. And one thing I do, I would go just Google them or call the Better Business Bureau and make sure that is a company that's out there.
Sure.
And it's legit in Missouri. So check for licensing. With me being an insurance agent, I got to have license in the state of Missouri. I got to renew those every 2 years to make sure that I keep up with them. So.
And that says something right there. You have your own documentation as to what you are, what makes you legitimate and what you're doing.
Well, you got to. So just making sure on the red flags here that's coming up here, missing incomplete documentation, we got unusually low premiums, cash payment receipt request. We take some cash here, but hardly ever that someone pays with cash.
Yeah, but again, they know where to find you.
Right, they know where to find me, yeah.
That's a big difference.
And then unverifiable, contact information. If you can't get a hold of that person, but making sure that is a legit company, you call them and you can call the next day and that person's going to be there.
Yeah, and the whole deal is, when you talk about all these different companies, make sure they're legitimate, all of that. That's what you're here for. You do all of this legwork.
Yeah, I do everything, so it's easier just to call me. I can quote your stuff. I can send your quotes over via email. You can come in the office, have a sit-down conversation with me, and we can go over everything, and I can point out what coverages you need or what you don't need.
Okay, people want to keep track of all you do and all the services that you do provide, John. How do they get in touch?
So all you got to do is, if you're home there, take out your cell phone, scan the QR code. That's a direct link to me, or you can call the old-fashioned way, 417-766-4689.
So, give them a call. Talk to John Schaeffer. Keeping it safer with Schaeffer.